This. Alright, let's do that. Alright, hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing great. I'm back after a short break. Do I need to make a new account? No. No. No, you do not, Focus. Not at all. You can keep the same account that you have right now, my friend. As long as you shoot me a follow, you'll be just fine with me, alright? I will not force you to show me your name. That's perfectly fine with me. Alright, you shot me a follow, we're good to go, bro. I ain't gonna argue with that. Thank you so much. I'm gonna need to update that little thing, actually. I got my follower count up there, but I have many more followers than that now, so, holy moly. Always the first day always gets a bunch of guys. Bunch of guys and gals. Let's see here. Let's see, it's already smashed past that goal, so, and that goal. Let's put, I don't know. Yeah. I can't spell at all. Where are we at right now? We're at 7:45. All right. I think that. There we go. Not too crazy. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing absolutely fan-diggy-antastic. I hope everybody's doing really, really well. I hope everybody's been sitting and relaxing, having a grand old time. Let's see what we got here. Full amount should be 20. Alright. That doesn't make any sense. Why would I have that? Alright. Okay, there we go. Let's change that. Yeah, you should definitely thank Big Tree. Big Tree was really super generous. He actually laid out a 10 gift bomb on stream. Neurotic, it's good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Big Tree was more than generous with 10 gifted subs, I have to say. I'm doing excellent. I'm doing absolutely excellent. It's been a already very positive day so far with just, hey, it's the first day of class, but it's already got good positive vibes going on. Positive vibes, my friend, positive vibes. We're heading into the second Math 102 class for the night, but you know what? I'm getting a good feeling from this one. I ain't gonna lie. It's 100% vibe check, okay? 100%. I hope you got the positive vibes because I certainly do. Well, all right, totally do. You got any plans for tonight, Neurotic? Or are you just gonna be sitting and chilling? I don't know what the story is with you today, but hey, if you're just sitting chilling, sitting back, relaxing, having a grand old time, not so bad. Just some job applications, editing some videos. Respect, my friend, respect. All right. What are you trying to? You trying to get a job in video editing? Is that what it is? If you're trying to showcase your portfolio and your skill set, if that's the case, then that's pretty awesome. That's nothing wrong with that. Trying to build up on your skills, none whatsoever. Editing videos for a new channel you'll be releasing. Oh, wonderful. Oh, look at that. Now that I can get behind, Neurotic. I can get behind that. Job as an ESL teacher. Hey, I can totally get behind that since I used to be one. So 100%, my friend, 100% behind you. I legitimately hope you can snag that job and have a fun time doing that. That's awesome, man. Awesome. All right, all right, all right. Yes, yes. Yeah, all right. 6 o'clock here. Let's do some intros, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get started here. We're gonna get started here with some Math 102. If you are here for Math 102, you are definitely in the correct place. Okay, for mathematics statistics. Okay, let's go ahead and do some intros, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, let's get started today. Welcome back to the very first day of the semester. All right, very good, very good. Thank you so much for coming on around here to Twitch. Thank you for finding my channel here and finding the channel here specifically for Math 102. I've been teaching two sections of this. I teach one right before this at 4 o'clock to 5:15, and I teach one right here at 6 o'clock, 7:15. So that is this one here. You're hoping to. I know ESL pays very little, but there's some companies out there that you can certainly snag a decent one that can pay the bills. You just got to be careful. Just got to be careful if you're gonna figure out what you want to apply with. Be sure you check the backgrounds of the companies. That way you don't get it's not all shady and stuff. All right, just gonna let you know about that, Neurotic, right now. There are some shady companies out there, so please be a little bit careful. Okay. All right. Been in the industry. It's not fun when you hear some of the not so nice stories. But I don't want you to end up in that situation, and find some good reputable ones. I know you'll be able to find out the reviews and past teachers and whatnot. Should be cool. Yes, thank you very much. Please be careful out there. All right. So I want to thank everybody here for coming out here for Math 102. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be going over the syllabus. We'll be talking about the course in general. Okay, we'll be talking about exactly what entails, what's going to be entailed in this course. Okay, we're going to be discussing all the details here. Again, if you have any questions in and along the way, please feel free to ask. I hope to be able to answer and address as many questions as I possibly can here today, discussing the overview for the course. Okay, so some of you may have my math lab questions. Some of you may have, exactly what are we grading on, things like that. But hopefully I will cover all those bases here today for what we're going to be doing. All right. Okay. So let's talk about the first thing here. All right. Let me go to the big board here. I'm going to go ahead and switch screens here. Go to the big board. Blam. All right. So what I would like you to do first here is where can we find the course online? Okay, so where can we find the course online? So if you go to distancelearning.elgin.edu, if you go to this website right here, you're going to get to this page right here. Okay, so this is the page you're going to get to in order to log in to distance to learning here. So distance learning at .elgin.edu. Again, you're going to log in with your username and password that's applied to you. This is the same as your Access ECC password and username respectively. So again, I'll just go ahead and do this off camera here for just a second. All right. Okay, so and you will get to a page that looks like this. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this very carefully, and again, you can follow along with me, and again, just be able to see. Now, some of you probably already have found your way here. If not, Okay, now you know how to make your way here, but this is what you'll see now. I'm teaching multiple sections, so understand I have a lot more on my page than maybe you do. Maybe you have other sections from other classes that you're doing. I don't know. Whatever the case may be. All right, in any case, we want to click on this one here, which is Math 102 821. That's going to be our course right here. All right, so we're going to click on that. And then right here at the very front, we have the announcement here, which is the email that hopefully everybody got beforehand. Okay, so just mentioning all the details here, hopefully making your way here and finding me here on Twitch, and discussing some other details here in terms of signing up for my math lab. Hello, Professor. I just want to say, introduce the class. Thank you. Hello, BJ. Good to hear from you. All right. Well, let me be honest with you, BJ. Sincerely hope that you do well. All right. I am looking very forward to working with you. Trust me, I'm going to try and make this process as painless as possible. Okay, I'm here to help you. Hopefully, uh, get over the nervousness, get the nerves in check. And I'm pretty sure, hopefully, by the end of this course, you're going to feel a lot more confident about yourself, even if it has been a long time. So, trust me, I try to make this as painless as possible because I know math is a mood for some people. So whether that be a good mood or bad mood, it may be dependent on the day, to be fair. But I try and make it as good as possible, I promise you. All right. Um, okay. So this is the announcement that we have. Again, you got this in the email here. Let me talk about a couple things here. First and foremost, here I do have office hours here. Office hours here from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. I'm going to expand upon that a little bit later here in regards to that. Eli, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Um, that Eli or Ellie? I guess I'll have to figure that out. Anyway. All right. So yeah, so office hours here from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Like I said, I'll expand upon that here a little bit later. We also have a discussion board here, so if you need to ask me questions, we have a discussion board here. I don't check the discussion board too often, but sometimes if you have questions, you can certainly ask. Again, you can go ahead and introduce yourself. That's perfectly fine. Or if you want to be able to contact me, maybe a bit easier. Oops, sorry, I meant to if you want to contact me, you can contact me via my email. Email is significantly easier. I do check that every day. And if you have specific questions you'd like to ask me, you can certainly ask me via email, and I'll be certainly happy to answer you within 24 hours. Okay, so let's talk about the class in general here first and foremost. Okay, let's go over the syllabus for the course. Now, if you want to find the syllabus here on D2L, you go ahead and click on Content here. Right? So we click on Content here, and then right underneath Content, we have the Math 102 syllabus. We go ahead and click on that. And then this first link right here is going to be for the syllabus for our course. Okay, so you can go ahead and click on that and open up that file. I will go ahead and open that up here on stream. Have it here. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here for just a moment. Okay, now, first and foremost here, we meet from 6 o'clock to 7:15. Okay, so every Tuesday and Thursday, 6 o'clock to 7:15. All right, so that is when we meet. Again, as you see here, this phone number that we have here, this phone number goes directly to my cell phone. If there's an emergency that happens, please feel free to text me. You could text me to that cell phone. Otherwise, just email me if something happens. Okay, but if it's an emergency, life happens. I totally understand that that's a thing. Hey, feel free to text me. That goes directly to my cell phone if it's absolutely necessary. Otherwise, email me right here at amalik@elgin.edu. Okay, now let's talk about the book here for just a moment, because I get questions about this all the time. All right, first and foremost here, what does the book look like? The book looks like this. I'll just show this here on the webcam. Here's the book. This is the physical copy of the textbook, and this is only because I get a physical copy for free. All right, but do you need a physical copy of the textbook here for this class? Let's talk about that here first and foremost. And the answer is no. No, you do not need a physical copy of the textbook, okay? all you do need is basically the MyMathLab access code, and you'll need the course ID that I will provide to you. Okay, because within MyMathLab, if you've never used MyMathLab before, you will get a copy of the electronic version of the textbook. So you'll get a copy of the e-text, all right, which will be available for you and throughout the entirety of the course, okay? And you will save a significant sum of money at the end of the day, which is why I highly encourage you to go ahead and get the um oh, hello. Just get the access code and pay for it through the Pearson site. Okay, so I do want to make that crystal clear to everybody that that's kind of the expectation that I have for you guys. I want to save you some time. I want to save you some money, and that's especially true with MyMathLab. Please be sure you don't have to go to the bookstore. You can buy it directly through the Pearson site, and it will certainly save you money. Now, saying that, by the way, if you have financial aid or you have FAFSA financial aid or a scholarship or something like that, then you will have to go through the bookstore because they have special processes in mind to make sure that they are reimbursed. Okay, but the bookstore is typically a 40 to 50% markup. So if you have financial aid, then yeah, go through the bookstore because that's what you're supposed to do. But if you don't have any scholarship financial aid stuff, yeah, I would suggest just buying it on your own through the Pearson website, and then you should be good to go in regards to that. Okay, um, uh, so just to give you a heads up about that, that's perfectly fine. Again, if you have any questions, by the way, or you need to stop me because you have concerns, please feel free to type those in chat. All right, I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions in along the way. Okay, so just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Okay. All right. Next, we have the calculator. So a TI-83 or TI-84 calculator is required for this course. We will use it pretty extensively here throughout this course. Okay. We will be using functions on the calculator that certainly be helpful for in the realm of statistics. Again, if you don't have a calculator, I'm not sure if they're renting out any calculators at the college right now, but you can buy one here. Again, or you could borrow it from a friend. See if you can borrow it from a friend. I know the calculator's new; they go for like $120, $130. But again, maybe you can find one used on eBay or Amazon or whatever. I'm pretty sure you can find one for cheap that will have those same functions that you can use for this course. So, and try and find something cheaper. Somebody who was willing to lend it to you or hand me down or whatever. As long as it's useful, as long as it's a good graphing calculator like an 8384, which is what we're going to be using, that's going to be the thing that we're going to be using throughout this course. Okay. All right. All right. So, before we move forward here, are there any questions that you have so far? Any questions? Yes, I probably should explain one thing here really quickly. That will be a question I'm going to ask very often here on Twitch. I know we're doing live streams here on Twitch. All right, so I will be asking very often, because I like to go a little bit slower in terms of sometimes just trying to make sure that you guys understand or just you guys telling me you understand. So oftentimes I'm going to ask you guys any questions. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to type it in chat right away. I'll be more than happy to address those questions ASAP. If you don't have any questions, please type no in the chat so that way I know to move forward, and then I can go ahead and get to the next topic or next example or whatever. All right, so this just helps me be able to pace with you guys. So again, the priority is on you. It's not on me, but I just need to know when it's okay to move forward or if we need to go back and do something else, whatever the case may be. So let me go ahead and ask again here. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Uh, hey, Luffy, how we doing, my friend? All right. In the math lab, it says the assignments are all due 12/16. Is self-paced like self-paced in the homework? Is it like self-paced? I'm going to talk about that here, Julia. That's a very fair question. I do need to be. I will be specific about that, about how that's going to work, because there's a few details I'm going to have to put in there. So yes, I will. I will certainly address that question. So just give me a little bit of time here, just to kind of talk about my math lab, and then we're going to get into specifics regarding the homework here, so I can fully answer that question 100%. So here you can see the course outline on the syllabus. All right, now let's talk about the breakdown here, and we're going to get to your question here, Julia, in just a few minutes. So let's talk about how it's going to work in terms of point-wise. Point-wise, it's going to be broken down into 3 categories. We have homework here, which is worth 190 points. We have chapter exams, which is 300 points. And we have the final exam, which is 200 points. Okay, the final exam for 200 points will be due the last day of class, which is December 16th. Now, let's talk about how homework will be done. All the homework, all the tests, everything is going to be on MyMathLab. Okay, now let's talk about how homework will work on MyMathLab. Homework will be posted on MyMathLab. Every homework section will be worth 5 points and due the day of the corresponding test. All right, as the points of MyMathLab is not the same as listed above, the homework score will be scaled to match a 5-point per assignment format for each section. So what does that mean? That means that some sections, for example, one section could have 10 questions and one section could have 15 questions, for example. Let's say basically the amount of points that I give per section is based on how much you get correct in that section. So for example, if you get 50% correct, okay, in that section, then I'm going to give you 50% of 5 points, which is 2.5 points. All right, so you do 2.5 points, then I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you, if you do 50% of 5 points is 2.5 points, I'm going to give you 2.5 points exactly on the button. So what you put in is exactly what you get out at the end of the day. So there's, no surprises, no nothing in terms of points. It's not 0 or 5. You're not getting all or nothing. It's exactly what you put in is what you exactly get out. You do 70% of the assignment, I'm going to give you 70% of the points. Simple enough. So you get 3.5 points because that's 70% of 5 points. Okay, so I try to be as crystal clear, be like, you know what, it's a fair system. What you put in is what you get out. No problem. Okay. Now, as for the exams, we do have 3 exams here in class, 3 chapter exams, which will cover a variety of chapters. Okay, they'll be each worth 100 points, so 300 points, and a final which will be cumulative over everything, so that'll be worth 200 points. Now, to understand here regarding the chapter exams, exactly what will it cover, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here to the bottom, close to the bottom here, and again, chapters 1, 2, and 3 will be the first test. 5, 6, 7, and 8 will be the second test, and 8, 9, 10, and 4, I know it's a little out of order, but it's just because of the content here. The book is a little bit out of order in terms of how relevant the content is for what we want to do. But 8, 9, 10, and 4 here is going to be the last test here. So that'll be the final regular test and then the final exam after that. Okay, so that is how it will be broken down here in terms of the content here for every single test. Now, to show this off here, exactly how this is going to look, at least from a physical standpoint, let's talk about my math lab here, because I got a lot of questions here about how to register for my math lab. Now, if you have my math lab already, if you already registered for my math lab, you're good to go. Okay, if you haven't registered for my math lab, that's okay. Let's go ahead and go to mymathlab.com. Okay, so we go to mymathlab.com, and you're going to get to this page here. All right, and if you've never registered, thank you for the posture check, focus. All right, if you've never registered for my math lab, we're going to go ahead and click on this link here. I guess I have to do it in a new tab, but that's okay. Okay, and then you want to go ahead and click on OK, register now. All right, so it's going to ask you for a whole bunch of things. If you've never created a Pearson account, that's perfectly fine. If you have an existing Pearson account from a previous semester, from doing a previous math class, that's okay too. So you get OK, register now. The first thing that you want to enter in is you want to enter in the course ID. Now, the course ID, where can you find the course ID if you forget? The course ID can be found here underneath Content, and it can be found underneath My Math Lab Information. Okay, and it can be found underneath Mymathlab info Math 102. If you're not sure about how to register, or if you kind of forget to watch this video again, or whatever the case may be, you can go ahead and go underneath Student Registration Handout. This is a step-by-step instruction guide about how to register from step 1 all the way to the end. So if we click on that here, Mymathlab Math 102, that's going to take you to this. Okay, and what's our course ID? Our course ID is going to be Malik 96418. So this is the number that you would want to enter into your course ID. So let me go ahead and show you what that looks like here. I cannot unfortunately go through this whole process because it would require me paying money, but this is what you'll get next. You'll see Math 102 Fall 2021. You'll see my name. You'll see when it ends. Again, if you need to create an account, you create it. Again, enter in all the relevant info. Or again, if you have an existing account, you can enter in your existing account and then move forward from there. After that, it will prompt you to go ahead and pay for a access code. Okay, that access code, typically 18 weeks, is $80. So $80 is what I was told from someone else in the same class not too long ago, maybe 2 hours ago or so. So $80 for 18 weeks, and that will get you access to the e-text and all the online homework that will be available for this course. Okay, so I want to be sure that everybody is on board with that. Now, before we move forward to taking a look at what's inside Mymathlab, which will be, and then Julia, I know I've been kind of waiting on your question here, but then you'll see exactly what I'm talking about in terms of the assignments. So, are there any questions before I move forward with talking about Mymathlab? All right. Perfect. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about the next question here. The next question is, what does Mymathlab look like? Well, let's take a look. All right. Make me proud. There you go. It's almost like made you mad. Um, you were able to register Mymathlab, but I was initially prompted to either enter access code or make payments. Okay. I tried to log on the next day, but was not prompted to enter. Yeah, so there's a way you should be able to enter in the access code, because that's only temporary access. Is that correct? Because if you have temporary access, that's what it is. It's temporary access. Let me check real quick. Okay. Oh, right. Hang on a second, my friend. No, I see you. I see you as good. No, you're fine. You're fine. Nope, I just looked at you. You're okay. You're okay. BJ, you're just fine. Okay. You have already. You didn't need to. You don't need to enter in your access code because you pay for it automatically. So once you did the registration, you paid for the access code automatically. So you don't need to. If you paid through the Pearson site, you don't actually have to enter in an access code. It will just automatically apply what you paid for directly to the course. If you got something separate, like in one of those packets that you get at the bookstore, then you have to enter in the access code, with, through letters and numbers and whatever. So, yeah, if you just bought it directly, you're good. All right, you're good. You don't have to do anything else. You already have full access to everything else. I don't know, neurotic. Just what do you mean? You actually bought the book from the bookstore? Okay. I mean, okay, I'm going to ask you this question here. You don't need the paper copy of the book because you have access to the e-text. The only thing I'm going to ask you here, BJ, is if you took off the shrink wrap. Did you take off the shrink wrap, yes or no? Okay, so unfortunately, if you take off the shrink wrap, that means that you can't return it. Or you can return it, but for like a fraction of the amount of money that you paid for it. If the shrink wrap is on, you can return it for a full refund. That's exactly why we put the shrink wrap on. Because it's easy to tear off, and then they can cast plausible deniability while charging you 40 to 50% markup. That's why I don't like the bookstore. That's why I don't like the bookstore, I ain't gonna lie. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna let you know now, that's if you have already an e-text, okay? So let me go into the class though. Let me go ahead and show this off here. All right. All right, so what is this class going to look like? Now, this is what it's going to look like, just like so. Okay, so you're going to see this, Math 102 Fall 2021. I teach multiple sections of different classes, so that's why you see this on the screen. But I'm going to go ahead and click on that. All right. Now, you may see something different than what I have, because I have an instructor view, but I'll go ahead and this is what you'll see here on the screen once you enter, and you'll see is this calendar thing, and that's perfectly fine. Now, none of this really matters. What is important here is you need to see where you can find the homework, okay? The registration page on Mymathlab won't accept my phone number as a valid number. What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Bill Stone? Are you talking about like where it asks you for your information? Like it asks you to register, and if you're talking about that, just try taking away the dashes and see if that works. See if you just put it in the wrong format there. If it says that your phone number is not a valid number for a proper contact or whatever. Just be a little bit careful with the registration there, okay, Bill Stone? Okay. All right, so once you have that set up and ready to go ahead and click on homework here off to the left. All right, and you're going to see all the assignments here for the course, all the way from chapter 1 all the way down to chapter 10, and then section 4. Chapter 4 is what we'll do last, I know. Again, out of order, but for content relevancy, that's why we're doing it just like that. Okay. If you want to find the tests for the course, you can click on quizzes and tests. I'll discuss about this here. Again, you'll see the list here. I'll discuss about this here. Yeah, most West sites these days are don't want the dashes. They just want the straight up number. So it's easier to enter into their SQL system probably. Thanks for the follow, by the way, Bill Stone. All right. Now, let me go ahead and talk about homework and how this is going to work here in reference to how we're going to be doing things on Mymathlab. All right, first of all, I do want to address Julia's question from earlier, talking about the due dates. Now, in regards to the due dates here, the due dates here are going to be basically whenever we do finish that material for that particular test. So for example here, we have a test, the first test here is over chapters 1 to 3. Once we're finished with chapters 1 to 3, I will be changing the due date from the 16th, as you saw, the 16th of December, over to whatever that due date is going to be. Now, I'm going to be perfectly fair here. I'm going to give you a warning way ahead of time. So I may give you a week or two warning and say, okay, you know what? The chapter 1 to 3 test is due on this and this date. Now, if I say the chapter 1 to 3 test is due on such and such date, that means that the homework for chapter 1 through 3 is also due on such and such date. Okay, so it'll be due at the exact same time as the actual test itself. Okay, I put everything due at the 16th for right now. Okay, but I will be having a due date here as we get closer, but it's totally dependent on the pace of the course and how fast we get through the material. Now, I don't intend to go super duper fast. Okay, I plan to go at a nice pace where everybody's comfortable and you get used to it. But again, at the same time, don't fall behind in terms of doing the work. Okay, so that way you're prepped and ready to go for that first exam. Okay, so that's one thing I will tell you to keep in mind. All right. All right. Does anybody have any questions in regards to that? Um, any questions about that? Hopefully that makes it clear regarding due dates in that regard. I'm going to expand a little bit more about homework here and exams in just a moment, but hopefully pretty clear. Okay, now let's talk about homework. How is homework going to work on Mymathlab? Well, let's take a look at some questions here. All right, and we'll just talk about it here. All right, so I'll just randomly pick a question. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so are the exams going to be on a class day? Okay, fair question, Brisa. So the answer is no, because the exams are already open and ready for you to go ahead and try. So if you want to try early, you're more than welcome to try early. So I'm not saying, oh, you have to do it on this and this day. I will tell you what the due date is, like way ahead of time. I'm going to give you a warning, like 1 or 2 weeks ahead of time. But in actuality, all the content, all the homework, and all the tests are already posted and ready to go. Like, you could start on them today if you absolutely wanted to. Now, do I suggest that? No, of course not. But it is already there waiting for you to go ahead and give it a try if you feel like it. Okay, so whenever I set a due date, it's already on existing material. That's pretty much it. So you'll have to do that. So then after the specific day, yeah. So those assignments. So for example, if I say, let me throw you an example here, and this has no relevancy to the real due dates or at all. But let's say I said, oh, okay. Well, the chapter, I say, okay, I give you a week's worth of warning. Next week is the 31st, for example. Oh, I tell you, well, Barisa, Barisa in the class, hey, the test for the chapter 1 through 3 is due next week on the 31st. So that means that all the homework for chapter 1 through 3 is due on the 31st, as well as the test is going to be due on the 31st. Okay, now that's obviously not true. Okay, mind you, guys, that's fake. Okay, so fake news, guys, fake news. But, all right. However, all of that will not be available after the 31st, after 11:59. Okay, so at 11:59 p.m. passes, then that homework for chapters 1 through 3, those will be locked and won't be able to do those afterward. Okay, so I will. Hopefully that made that clear about what that is. But like I said, that's why I want to give you a warning way ahead of time, so that way you can prepare and you can get stuff done before that due date, and be able to grab as many points and get stuff done as possible. So I've also got a few other things that I'm certainly going to say here in regards to that. But yes, hopefully that answered that question there. So, but I guarantee you, I got a few more things I got to say. So hopefully the next few things that I'm going to say hopefully should make this a tad bit easier. Okay. All right. Okay, so let me go ahead and point this out here. Okay, so in relation to Brisa's question, and that is, okay, so how is it going to work in terms of points on the homework here? What's the story behind the homework problems? Well, what I have in Mymathlab here is basically you have things that can help you on the problem. You can use the textbook here. You can use StatCrunch. You can use sometimes they'll have a help me solve this sort of thing. Sometimes they'll say view an example. Okay, so they're going to have various things, various tools that can help you solve that particular problem. Now, the way it works is I'm essentially in every for all the assignments, I'm going to give you quote unquote, as air quotes here, unlimited tries per question. Now, my math lab here has a different system for unlimited tries, so I want to demonstrate to you exactly what that means. All right. So, let's see here. All right. So let's say I have a multiple choice like this. Now, in a multiple choice problem, you have 2 chances to get it right. If it's a numerical problem, you have 3 chances to get it right. So let's say I check this answer here and I get it wrong. Okay, so that's fine. I'm getting it wrong on purpose here, but I get it wrong. Fine. All right. And then they'll give you a little hint and then you get to try again. Now, let's say you try it again and you get it wrong again. So I hit final check and I say it's wrong. Okay. Now, what it does say here is that it says you can either hit, you can say okay, but you also have this button here that says try again, or it also could say similar question. You try again, and it could randomize the answers here just a little bit, or on a different question here. Let me back here for a second. Let's say again, let's say it asks you, to put in let's say numbers here. It'll may put in different numbers. So it put in different numbers. It could put in a slightly different example, but it's pretty much going to be a similar example, just maybe with different numbers, different letters, different sayings, maybe putting in a different order. But you get to try another 2 times for multiple choice, another 3 times for like an answer like something that you see here on the screen. And you get to keep trying that as many times as you like until you get it right. Okay? And just to let you know, you will not get penalized for it. Okay? You will receive full credit for getting it right. So understand that I am here to say, I'm here to basically say that this class is not designed to penalize you. Okay, we are here to learn. I'm not here to penalize you. All right, so I want you to learn the material. I want you to get to know the material. I want you to get to, get help with the material. That's perfectly fine. I want to be sure that you guys understand the material. I'm not here to penalize you. All right. The only thing that I do request is say you have these tools that can help you here. Don't use these too much as a crutch to get through all the problems, because you're not going to have these tools available to you for the exams. Okay, so like a help me solve this or view an example. You have these for certain problems in the homework, definitely true, but for the exam, you're not going to have those tools available for you. So don't try and use it as a crutch for everything. Otherwise, it'll be a rough time. So I want you to be able to learn the material, but I'm not here to penalize you, for trying, for actually putting in the effort and putting and trying the material out and seeing, kind of getting through the homework and whatnot. Okay. Are there, all right, any questions so far about that? Hopefully that's pretty simple for the homework. Like I said, I have no desire to be your enemy in this class. All right, I have no desire to be your enemy in this class. All right, I want to be able to work with you. I want to be able to help you. I want you to be able to be a success in this course. Okay, that is what I would like you to do here, and I would like you to move up to that next level. All right, so I just want to be able to tell you, hey, these are the things that are available to you. Now, as for the exams, all the exams are posted here. Here we have the chapter 1 through 3 test, 5 through 7, 8, 9, 10, and 4. Now, as you can see here on the screen, let's take a look at what we can see here on the screen. First and foremost here, there is a time limit for every test. It's 600 minutes, so literally 10 hours. If it takes you 10 hours to do a test, if it takes you more than 10 hours to do a test, then you got issues. But I gave you plenty of time of which to finish the test. Now, the way it's going to work for my exams is that you have 5 attempts on the exam. Okay, the best one is going to be your score. Now, you don't have to do it 5 times. Okay, so let me just point that out here. You do not have to do this test 5 times. If you're fine with the score that you got the first go around, then go ahead and use that score and you can save it just like so. Okay, so if you're like, I got a 92, I'm happy with a 92. Okay, great. You don't have to take another like 4 times if you got a 92 the first. All right. Now, to go along with that, I have these practice tests. Now, these practice tests are very important. So why are these practice tests very important? Well, you get unlimited tries with the practice test because it's exactly as it sounds, a practice test. It's there for practice. All right, you have all the tools available to you. So you have view an example, help me solve this, all this stuff. Again, you do not have those available for the tests. But what are the practice tests specifically? Well, the practice tests are the actual exam, okay? Again, the practice test is just question for question, the real exam, just not with the same numbers, okay? But it's the same exact content, question for question. You go through the practice test, you get started comfortable with the material, you work through the practice test, and if you do well, you do good with the practice test, then be able to apply that to the real test. Again, it'll look pretty similar to the practice test, question for question, just with different numbers. That's it. Right? And again, you're not going to have the tools available to you like the help me solve this review and example, but again, the practice test is pretty much the test. Okay, that I put that there on purpose. Okay, that way there's less anxiety. You have a way to kind of do the things out. Okay, you can try things out. If you're not sure, you're like, oh, okay, let me try this again. You can get comfortable with the processes regarding all the questions. All right, and then it should be pretty straightforward after that. Now, in regards to the practice test as well, if you do pretty good with the practice test, by the way, you do pretty good with the practice test, by the way, then you will get bonus points thrown your way. All right, you will get bonus points thrown your way. So if you get a practice test here, you will get bonus points thrown your way if you go ahead and do the practice test out. Okay, so this is a way to kind of get, if people say, well, where's the extra credit? Well, I'm going to tell you from day one. The extra credit is going to come from trying out these practice tests. You get some of those bonus points there. All right, so certainly that's one avenue where you can get some bonus points, and that can certainly be helpful. All right. Okay, so that is in regards to the exam. As you can see, the final does not have a practice final because all the questions for the final come from the 3 subsequent tests. So hence we have that. All right, and again, one more thing, if you need to access the e-text, you can access the e-text right here. And there you go. E-text. Sometimes the e-text don't work, so it's a little finicky, I ain't gonna lie. Yes. I base it based on the percentage that you got on the practice test. So it's in your best interest to go ahead and do so. But you got a lot of time to do that. So if you click on e-text, you'll be taken here to the electronic textbook, and then you can scroll over to any page that you like within the textbook. This is the same exact textbook that I have in my hand right now. Okay, there's no difference between this textbook and the one that we're going to be using. Okay, it is the e-text. Yay. All right. Okay. All right. So that is in regards to MyMathLab and talking about exams and the final exam. Are there any questions? Anybody have any questions that they would like to ask right now? So I can clear anything up that you guys may have. Please feel free to ask me right now. Any questions you guys have, first and foremost, over anything in MyMathLab, exams, homework, whatever. Again, if you have no questions, please type no in the chat. If you do have questions, please type out those questions right now so I can certainly address them. Okay. Nope. All right. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about here is a couple of things. First and foremost here is in regards to the live streams. We do these live streams every day here at 6 o'clock. If you do miss a class here, so the rules for Twitch is basically, here's how it works. If you do happen to miss a class, because I understand life happens, things happen to get in the way, it's totally understandable. There will be a replay of the live stream here. It'll be underneath the videos section here on my channel here on Twitch. However, it only stays, based on Twitch's rules, it only stays up here for a maximum of 14 days. So 2 weeks. Otherwise, what I do is that the other Twitch rule is that after 24 hours, I can go ahead and archive that footage here onto YouTube. So I'll probably archive it after, maybe I usually archive it at the end of every week when I archive it over to YouTube. So preferably come over here to Twitch if you need to watch a replay or whatnot, if that's necessary. But I will say this. Replay is not as good as a live stream. When I have people coming out to my live streams, they tend to do a whole lot better in the class. And they do just by watching the replays. I will say that, because then you can certainly come here, you can ask me questions, you can certainly tell me, certainly, hey, say, hey, I don't quite seem to understand that, I'm not sure how to work with this. Well, you can certainly ask me questions and get that squared away as fast as possible. There's also another way that you can contact me as well. So another way you can contact me, by the way, besides email and the like, is we can also do discussions through Discord. So if you have Discord here, if you know what Discord is a free app that can be put on your phone or PC. I will put up a link here on the chat box thing, and that link there is going to go to directly to my Discord channel. So you can sign up for my Discord channel right there. And if you want to if you want to ask questions through my Discord channel, this is very helpful if you want to talk to me during office hours. One nice thing about Discord here, if you've never used Discord, is that you can live stream. Meaning to say, maybe there's something on MyMathLab that you're confused about, and you're just like, well, it says this, but you can't see it. Well, you can. You can actually stream what you're actually having on your computer screen, and I can take a look at it. We can talk things out and make sure we get things squared away with maybe some homework problems or whatnot, and be sure you get your concerns taken care of. So that's pretty nice about Discord. That is fairly handy. So if you just click on that link right there for Discord, you can sign up for Discord. And you'll be put online here, and then I can directly talk to you. I can directly talk to you through your phone or whatever. And again, if you want to just talk in general chat or send me a private message, that's perfectly fine. And we can get things squared away so that way you are taken care of ASAP. So certainly something that you can do. Again, Discord is completely free. All right. And again, cost you literally it costs you nothing. Cost you nothing. All right, so if you want to do that, that's fine. That's not a problem. I'm just putting it out there so that way you can go ahead and give that a go. So again, click on that link. It'll be just fine. All right. Thank you. All right. Let's see Lupe there. All right. Okay, so here we got a few more things of which to talk about. So Sanla Tuzek, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Maritza, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay. Sammy, thank you for the Discord there. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And if you guys need to talk to me anytime, I'll be online for office hours and whatnot. You guys can certainly connect through me. That's not a big deal. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you for I'm going to ask you to do a couple things here. All right. First and foremost, make me proud. Thank you very much for the follow. Thank you very much. Again, if you're not sure, please do give me a follow. There is a particular reason. If please follow my channel. The reason why I would like you to follow my channel is you get push notifications about when I go online. All right, it's completely free to follow, of course, here on Twitch, but you do get push notifications to follow me if you're following me. So that way, if I go online, you can just click a link on your phone and it goes directly to my channel through the app, or and then you can easily find me. So for ease of use, it's just easier to follow me. Again, I'm not asking for money here, okay, guys? I'm not asking for money. I'm just asking you, hey, easy for me to follow. Hey, you can find me pretty simple once I start my streams. All right, Brisa, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. All right, let's take a good look here at MyMathLab. Not MyMathLab. We're done with MyMathLab here. I want to take a good look here at D2L. So the first thing that we're going to talk about here in D2L, one of the things that I would like you to do, if you could do me a solid here, is if I click on assignments, underneath assignments, I have syllabus on MyMathLab. This is just basically you acknowledging that you've read the syllabus and have signed up for MyMathLab. So once you go ahead and do that, all you got to do is send me a little document saying I did it, and I did the thing with MyMathLab and syllabus, and I acknowledge it. And then you just send that away to me, and you get some free points out of it for going ahead and doing that. Okay, so just as simple as that, no problem. SOS dude, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, so again, if you could go ahead and do that, and like I said, I'll just throw you free points for going ahead and acknowledging it and signing up for MyMathLab. That way you're set and ready to go, right away. So if you could do that. Again, if you click on grades, it'll link to your grades and a little spreadsheet. Obviously, nothing's going on right now, but it is what it is. As for discussions here, like I said, there's a discussion board. I don't check it too often. Again, just feel free to email me, and then that's okay. All right, so how are the lectures going to go? Again, the lectures here, we're going to go through 1 or 2 sections a day. We do have these handouts here, okay? These handouts you can download or print out or whatever you need to do. All right, these handouts are what we're going to be using here every day, every lecture. So how do these handouts look? What do these handouts look like? Well, the handouts look something akin to this. And that is they have questions. Each one of these questions are going to be the major topics that we're going to be covering for the class. We're going to be filling in the blanks as we go along here for the lecture for the day. We're going to be doing we're going to try and do 1 or 2 sections a day. It just depends on how heavy the material is. Some sections have really heavy material, so it's like, oh, we got to really, go slow through this. Like the first few sections here, there's not a lot going on because most of it's definition stuff. So it seems like a lot of questions with 12 questions, but in reality, it's just like, hey, here's a definition. Hey, here's a definition. Hey, here's a definition. And we'll be using these definitions through concepts throughout the course, but again, most of the beginning part here in chapter 1 is going to be like, oh, okay, it's just like, oh, what does this mean? What does that mean? Okay, so it's not that big of a deal. All right. But some of the time we're going to be going ahead and doing, hey, we're doing this one section for the day, and we're going to be doing a couple examples from just that one section. Just because, we only have time for that, and it just requires more time just to kind of carefully go through it. So that is what's the story in regards to how the pacing for the lectures will go. And depending on how you guys respond and, how we go through it very carefully, that will also determine how we not how we what the due dates are going to be for the course. So we get through, like, say, once we get through chapter 3, I'll be announcing a test. Be like 1 to 2 weeks later, that's when the due date will be, and we'll be discussing more about that as we get closer and closer to that point. You already know the rules, but I'll probably give you a reminder in and around that time. Okay, so that is that there. Alrighty, so that should give you hopefully a good overview about what to expect here for the class. Now, before we move forward here, because we got a few more things of which to talk about, are there any questions that you guys have over anything that I've talked about here today? So anything you'd like me to clear up, anything you'd like me to go ahead and answer if I didn't address something here, please go ahead and throw me a question. If you don't have any questions, just type no in the chat. But does anybody have any questions they would like me to answer? No! With an exclamation point. Julia's like mutiny. I hate your face. Your face is terrible. I'm like, it's the first day of class. I already got it. Yes. No. No, all good. No questions? All right. Cool, cool. All right. Now, what I'm going to do next here, is I'm going to go ahead and put in a poll. Put in a poll. All right. Let's put a little poll up here. Do you consider yourself an adult? Yes or no? It's as simple as that. Simple question. Do you consider yourself an adult? A yes or no question. That is what I'm going to ask you next. And you can mark the first one there for yes and the second one there for no. Again, answer truthfully and honestly. That's fine. Consider yourself an adult. I always get a good mix of answers. I know it seems weird to say that, but I have 1 minute. I put this as like a 2-minute poll. So if you're not sure where the poll should be at the top of the chat. If you're not sure where the poll is located. Valeria is like, yes, okay, that's fair. All right. I respect that, Valeria. 100% respect the answer. Like everybody's got a different perspective. I'm not gonna say yes. I'm gonna say no. Oh, that's okay. Well, your answer is just as justified. I'll vote for you. All right. So we had 10 people say yes and 3 people say no. Sometimes, so for some people, for whatever reason, the API doesn't work and then the poll doesn't show for some people. It's really weird. Anyway, okay, so 10 people said yes, 3 people said no, so 10 out of 13 said you consider yourself adult. And this I want to tell you guys, this is how I'm going to view you here for the class. Is that we're not in high school anymore. We're in college. Okay, we're in college. All of you, I consider you adults here in this class. All right, all of you are adults here in this class. That is how I'm going to view everybody here in this course. So, at the end of the day, okay, at the end of the day, I am a teacher and you're a student, okay, and that's all well and good. All right. At the end of the day, I'm a professor. I'm a facilitator of information to hopefully help you, you know, understand mathematics, understand statistics, and hopefully get you to pass this class and move on up to bigger and better things. I understand what my role is to be kind of like a stepping stone to moving up into doing what you want to do later. Okay, 100%, I'm totally behind that. All right, I'm not going to argue with that. But you are adults at the end of the day. Okay, you are adults. So at the end of the day, since you are adults, I don't view as trust me when I say this. I don't, and I'm just gonna say this out right here, and I'll go switch to the main cam here. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see us as this. Okay, we're not unbalanced where it's like, oh yeah, teacher and student are like this. No, we're equals here in this class. Okay, we're equals. We're just like this. Okay, all right, we're equals here in this class. I'm gonna learn as much from you as you're gonna learn from me. Okay, that's how it's going to work. All right. But you're adults, you are responsible for yourselves. So do understand that. I have the full expectation that you will be responsible for yourself. All right, Parker, thank you very much for the follow. Valeria, thank you for the follow. What I want to say in regards to that is this. Okay. All right. You have to understand what my goals here for the course is. Okay, my goals here for the course is very different than maybe what other teachers are going to say, what other people are going to do. All right, my goals are different. Since you're an adult here, I want you to understand that you're here in this class, and I understand that math can be a pain in the butt. All right, it may be a difficult subject for you. I know that math can be a very dry subject. It can be very, very hard. Okay, maybe you struggled with it before in the past. I want to help you get over that hurdle, get over that hump. I want you to be able to be a success later on. I want you to be in a position where you're like, okay, I passed this stage. Now I can move on to the next stage. This is a requirement that I can get out of the way, done and done, and do what I really want to do. I totally want to be there with you. I would totally want to be able to help you. All right. But at the end of the day, I need you to do one thing for me. And that specifically is I need you to invest in yourself in this class. That is what I need you to do. All right. I'm going to make the request here that you need to invest yourself in this class. All right. Remember, you're not doing this class for me. You're doing this class for you. Okay. Remember, you put in the money, whether you got it in scholarship or FAFSA or whatever, financial aid, or you're paying it out of your own pocket. You're putting in the money and the time to be better down the line. All right. I want you to be a success. I want you to be a person who can be reliable in the workforce. I want you to be a person who who's who's not going to have that person to be like have poor work ethic and is not going to be relied upon and is not going to be very happy in the future, and then they're going to keep questioning themselves, well, why didn't I get this good job that this other person did? Well, it's because of the fact that look what carried on from time, from look what carried on from when you were doing school up until now. I don't want that situation. I want you to be a success. I want you to learn something from this class. I want you to have a good positive personal progress, whether that be in understanding math. Remember, my one of my goals is that I'm not here to move the needle dramatically. I just hope that by the end of this 4 months, you will be a better person. You will know more. You will know more than what you walked in with. You will be a better person than when you walked in. If I move the needle in terms of your math knowledge and you can be able to appropriate that in a daily situation, great. Okay, then I was able to impart that knowledge upon you. If you're able to learn something about yourself for the next 4 months, amazing. That's exactly what I set out to do here, from the very first day until the very last day. That is what I set out to do every single class, every single day. I want you to be in that situation where you can feel better about yourself and you can be you can be the person that you want to be. But the way that it starts, no matter which way you look at it, is you need to invest in yourself. You, at the end of the day, are the person that wants the help. Okay, I can't help you unless you want to help yourself. Nobody, including myself or anyone else around you, can help you unless you want to help yourself. Okay. So if you reach out to me, you say, you know what, Professor Chibbs, I need your help about such and such subject. I need to understand what this problem is all about. Or I need your advice about blah blah blah. Okay, and you reach out your hand. I will be more than happy to reach out my hand to you, and I'll be more than happy to lift you up and help you. I'm here for that purpose. I'm here for you in that regard. But if you don't want to do that, okay, if you don't want to do that and the results aren't looking good, okay, then you need to sit back and ask yourself, have I invested in myself? I want you to invest in yourself. This is your time, this is your money. I want you to do the best that you can in order to grow as an individual. That is what my goal is for this course. It's math, but it's a little bit of also personal growth at the end of the day. That is sincerely what I want. So if you're willing to put in the time, put in the energy, and put in the effort, I will be more than happy to reach out to my hand, and I'll be more than happy to help you if you need the help, right? And this is now all about you. You're an adult. You can take care of yourself, all right? Yeah, look, that's true. Like, you're an adult, you can take care of yourself. I'm going to trust that you can take care of yourself. And the first thing that you have to do is understand that it's a harsh world out there, guys. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. Once you're done with school, or people who've already been out in the working world for long stretches of time, they're going to tell you it is not a nice world out there. All right? It's not nice. All right? That's just how it is. It can be ruthless at times. All right? There's no lie about that. And especially how you're treated at work and whatnot. I mean, let's be honest here. All right? It ain't pretty. All right? How do you rise above that? It's first and foremost, you invest in yourself to make yourself better. Okay? Remember, in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if you come back to me and you say, hey, Professor Chibbs, I'm making $150,000. I'm making 75 grand. Guess what? Let me tell you what's the story here. The story is that you're making more money than I am. And you know what I'm going to tell you? I'm going to tell you, congratulations. I'm proud of you because that is exactly where the heck I want you to be. Because that is what it means to be a true success. You're going to be better than me, and I want you to have that same feeling. You're going to be better. You're going to make more money than me. You're going to be in a place in which you are going to be happy and that you can live the comfortable life that you want. I want to be able to help you get there. Okay? That is what I would like you to do. So if you come out to these live streams, right. So you come out to these live streams. If you come out to these live streams, I'll be more than happy. We're going to have a nice, fun time here on these live streams. We're going to be learning some statistics along the way. We're going to be applying it to our real life situations. If we're going to be, we'll be looking at different things, and then also hopefully along the way you'll learn a little bit something about yourself. And if like I said, I'm not, if it's like a small percentage, it could be like a 1/10 of 1%. Okay, could be even less than that. As long as we move the needle in the positive direction, positive progress, I'm gonna be very, very happy that I was at least a part of that, and that you're a better person than you walked out than when you walked in. All right, that is what I'm here to do, and that's my goal for every class, and that's my goal for you. When people say, "Well, I don't want to show up, I can just watch the replays," I'm like, "Yeah, you can go ahead and do that, but you're missing out on the most important part. Most important part is that you miss out on the prospect of other possible positive progress. So invest in yourself, and people who come out to these live streams, they always do really, really well in the course, and we always have a lot of fun along the way, and we always learn something about each other at the end of the day. Always happens, and it's one of my favorite portions about why I love teaching in the first place. David, thank you so much for the follow, by the way. All right, so that's something that I wanted to say in regards to why I asked that question specifically. Yeah, sorry that kind of rambles on a little bit, but again, it is important so that way you understand that where I'm coming from here on that. Well, in any case, well, this is the time here where we have like 7 minutes left, but this is the time here where you guys can ask me any question that you want. All right, ask me any question. It doesn't have to be related to the class or anything like that. All right, so you can ask me any question that you like, and I'll be more than happy to answer it to you, so we can kind of get to know each other a little bit. So, do any of you have any questions that they would like to ask me? Doesn't have to be class related, by the way. So it can be whatever. So, uh, anybody have any questions that they would want to ask? Feel free. How come I decided to have class on Twitch? Fair question. So when the pandemic hit last March, I had a choice to go between Zoom and Twitch, right? And so I not many people were doing Twitch. Now, obviously, not many people would decide to even put their things on a typically a gaming type of platform, kind of live streaming platform. But the reason why I wanted to do it on Twitch was two reasons, right? Number one, Zoom is boring. I really don't like Zoom. All right, Zoom is like if you're in a corporate atmosphere and it feels terrible. All right, I've worked in the corporate world. It's not fun. I just don't like Zoom. Number two, Number two, and probably the most important thing is that in my opinion, Brisa, it takes a lot of anxiety off of you guys. On Zoom, you have to show yourselves to the camera. Like you actually have to have a webcam and then show your face to the camera. I prefer be like, hey, I'm on camera. I'm teaching the stuff here, and then you could just focus on just listen to me and then covering the material, and you don't have to really worry about how you look on camera and stuff like that. I respect your privacy and whatnot. If we'll get to know each other, from you just watching me and whatnot, or we can actually talk to each other face to face on Discord if we wanted to. That's perfectly fine. But I respect your privacy and respect your time. Okay, and that's very important. Gameplay. Gameplay. I'm currently playing Final Fantasy 14. Focus. So I'm currently leveling up my crafters to level 80. Oh, thanks. Thanks, thanks, Elliot. Appreciate that. What are the three most important tips for studying math? Take breaks, number one. Don't take 3-hour YouTube breaks, but just take breaks. Math will burn you out. So doing math for long stretches of time is a terrible idea. All right. Do it for maybe an hour, hour and a half, and then maybe take a break for like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, get something to drink, do whatever you need to do, then come back and do it. If you try and do it all at once, like 3 hours straight, you'll burn yourself out really. Probably the second most important tip of studying math: write things out step by step. Very helpful. Very helpful to write things out step by step. If you're not sure because your thoughts are all over the place, just write. Like, a lot of times I write out step one, step two, step three, and I just go through things step by step. As long as in math, as long as it's a consistent process and it gets you the correct answer every time, then why not follow a step-by-step process? That can't be. It may take you longer, but who cares? It's consistent, and that's what you're after. You're always after consistency. Probably the third, probably the third most important tip is make sure you understand your fundamentals. I'm a big fundamental guy. Meaning fundamentals is like you can't learn anything more advanced without understanding the fundamentals underneath. Okay, so even if it's a simple application problem, like add, subtract, multiply, and divide. If you don't know how to do that, now mind you, I'm not saying you don't, but I'm saying let's say you don't know how to do that, then of course solving an application problem would be nigh impossible. All right, so the fundamentals are probably the third thing I would say for studying math. Know what the fundamentals are underneath, and then you can build up from there. Risa, do you prefer teaching online or in person? I like doing now, in all honesty, I never taught online before the pandemic hit last year. I always did in-person classes. So I was always an in-person thing. I like in-person a lot because then I can really connect with you guys. We can talk, you can shoot the breeze. We can talk about things, in class and just have a nice time. I like teaching online too. There's certain benefits from teaching online as well. Everything is already kind of prepared. You know, you can put a little nice little like I have here on the stream, a nice little production value that kind of goes with it. You can make it nice and fun, and it's a little bit easier to access online. So there are certainly pros and cons to both. I think that a lot of students, though, to be fair, and this is just from feedback I've gotten from a lot of people, a lot of students do prefer in person, because for most of them, they feel that they learn better, like maybe in person. So maybe that's certainly one thing to keep in mind. So, uh, but teaching online is just as fun, mind you. But again, I prefer to acquiesce myself to the student's preference. Uh, Most people still want in person because they feel that they want that physical kind of connection, or it's easier for them to do things. Don't have to commute. That's a big benefit. I'm not gonna lie. It takes me 10 steps to get to my bedroom. That's great. I ain't gonna lie. That's a great benefit to have. But I would rather commute if it meant that it helps you guys at the end. So there's certainly things that I miss from actually teaching face to face. All right, certain things, certainly building that face to face rapport is incredibly important. So I do miss that a lot. I know that's kind of like a downside to Twitch is that I don't get to see your face, but at the same time, it's a lot more casual here on Twitch than maybe is on Zoom. So I like the casualness. It's a lot easier. It's a lot less anxious. You don't have to you don't have to dress up in front of me or nothing. So I don't like doing that either. Trust me. So I I think that's just fine. Um, maybe the order of my tips should be reversed. I suppose that's true. Yeah, I look. Zoom just feels like a corporate boardroom. I don't want to do that. You guys don't deserve that. Okay, corporate boardroom stuffiness, which is Zoom, it just feels yuck to me. I like my little corner of Twitch, okay? This is my corner of Twitch. I like hanging out with you guys. I like having a little bit of fun. We get to learn some math along the way. And why not do it in a why not do it in a venue that probably not many other people are doing it in at ECC. That can't be all bad. So I can't argue with that, you know? Besides, actually uploading to YouTube is super easy on Twitch. No, it takes me like 3 clicks and I can just upload my video directly to YouTube. Whereas Zoom, it takes you much, much longer to do and much more complicated. Ha ha ha. You see, I think ahead of time. You guys got any other questions you'd like to ask? I'm the first teacher I've had had class on here. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, well, I know. I didn't know if there were any. I've heard of maybe one or two that was on campus that may had classes on Twitch. Maybe, but yeah, I kind of figured I was kind of like one of the only ones that was actually on this platform. Um, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't change it for Zoom. The danger of Twitch, you can't see the looks and confusion. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. Like I said, there's certainly pros and cons, but the nice part about Twitch here, specifically, Gulo, is that people will tell me if they're confused. If you're ever confused, and I try and be as open as possible, it says if you're confused, you just tell me, and I'll gladly do another example to clear up any misunderstandings. So that's how I basically clear up things. If you're unsure about something, just tell me, and I'll be more than happy to clear up anything that may cause you any bit of confusion. I'm not I'm not averse for doing another example if it means that everybody understands exactly what I'm talking about. So I remember one time, true story. I remember I did a section and I lectured on it. It was for for college algebra, and I lectured on it, and I felt I didn't do a very good job. Right, I did a pretty in my opinion, I did a really miserable job, and it was a face to face thing, yeah, admittingly, but uh, um, yeah, I could basically see it was like a deer in the headlights for like an hour and a half. I lectured all the way through, and they had no idea what the heck I was talking about. So I stopped at the end of class. I'm like, "Did you guys understand what I was trying to say?" They all shook their head no. I'm like, "Okay, like here's what we're gonna do." I said, "I'm gonna lecture on this again, a second time." Because I said the same thing I did back then. It's like I'm gonna make sure that you guys are not confused, and if we're gonna go over slower, and we're gonna go over it right, and we're going to make sure that you understand exactly what this section is talking about. And Lupe, thank you for the follow. And that's what I did. And I went slower, went over it very carefully, went over specific examples to make it easier. Asked the same question. Says, do you understand what that section was about now? He said, they all shook their head yes. I'm like, perfect. Like, I'm glad we got that cleared up. Glad we got that understood. And they did really well for the test, mind you. They did really well for the test with that section's material. So I was really happy that they certainly were able to understand it. So there was a payoff at the end of the day, a definite payoff. You recommend that we read materials ahead before getting to class to learn actual material? I mean, you can read ahead if you like, BJ. That's perfectly fine. You can read ahead, or again, you can follow along with me. That's perfectly fine too. Either way, I don't mind which way you go. So, um, either way, I'm not gonna hold it against you. I try and go one piece at a time, BJ. Okay, one piece at a time. So you don't have to necessarily read ahead to kind of keep track with what I'm doing. So, 'cause like I said, I try and make things as simple as possible, so it's easier for you to follow. So hopefully that helps. The only thing I'm going to ask you to do is, of course, if you need to print out the handout, or have it on hand where you can type in the answers or whatever, or if it helps, write it in a notebook. Okay, then do that. Of course, just following along with the notes like anybody would, any semester. So yeah, pretty easy stuff. Pretty easy. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? Anybody? Ask me whatever you like. Any other questions? This is a you time. I know we ran a little bit over time, but I want to be sure that first day jitters, we get that out of the way. Make sure that you guys, if you like to ask me whatever, then this is kind of your time. So, any other questions? Anything, you guys? All right, no more questions, I guess. Question mark. All right, no problem. All right. Well, if there are no more questions, that's fine. I'm sure along the way you're going to learn a lot more about me, most definitely. I'm pretty sure. All right. Just to let you know, I do teach two sections for this course. I teach one section from 4 to 5:15. So if you want to come in a little bit earlier, that's I will be streaming here, of course, on Twitch for that 4 to 5:15. That's right before here. All right. Or again, here at class time. I know a lot of people come here at this time because they work and you get back home and then you do the stream. So that's perfectly fine. I just want to give you options if you want to. Okay. Doesn't mean you have to, of course. Just pure optional at an earlier time if you'd like to come in at an earlier time. Okay. In the meantime, though, no, thank you very much, Focus. I really appreciate you for coming out here for the stream. I appreciate everybody coming out here for the stream today. Today is hopefully kind of getting used to everything here. So hopefully I've answered any and all of your questions here in regards to what the course is going to be about. All right, so thank you so much here, everybody. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening here today. All right. I wish everybody take care, everybody. Have yourself a great day. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, but most importantly, everybody, stay sane. All right. Have yourself a great one. We will see you here, right here, 6 o'clock on Thursday, okay, for getting started with the actual material. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you in a couple of days. All right. See you, everybody. Have a great one, and we'll talk again soon. All right. All right. See you later, everybody. Take care. All right. Bye. Bye, everybody. We'll see you later.